Good evening, and welcome to Wednesday Night Live Spirit, Mind, and Body Connection. I am Dr. Sharon Stroud. I am the founder of Interfaith Spiritual Center Worldwide, where we believe there's a power for good in the universe greater than we are, and we can use it, and we are using it every single day of our lives, whether we are consciously aware of it or not. Our theme for the month has been The Gentle Art of Blessing. It's a book by Pierre Pradervand, and it is an amazing, beautiful, spiritual energy. And I believe that every single one of us should be reading that every single day of our lives. And he has another one, 365 Days of Blessings, that is absolutely wonderful. So during this Thanksgiving month, the relevance of gratitude, the relevance of giving thanks, the relevance of allowing this energy to move from our own energy field out from who we are at this moment, out into the community, into the nation, into our global family. So tonight, Miss Minnie and I, our little mascot, and it's so interesting, when I sit down in the chair, she's right there and she jumps up into my lap. It's like she knows that she's going to be participating in something wonderful. And as I bless our virtual community, as I acknowledge our theme of the gentle art of blessing tonight, I want to welcome you. I want to acknowledge your spiritual commitment, and that this is our midweek service. And so many things are going on the planet at this time that can take our attention away from our spiritual life, our ground of being. And I believe that everything springs from our spiritual life. It doesn't matter, what you call your higher power, God, Yahweh, Jehovah, Buddha, Allah. It matters not, but to acknowledge that which is within you is greater than that which resides in the world of conditions, appearances, and effects that show up every single day of our lives. And we have the opportunity to give our power away to it. And we also have the opportunity to acknowledge that there is a gift in this. And that when we are conscious and mindful, that we are ever aware of these gifts. And you know that I always set the tone for every Wednesday night live Spirit, Mind, and Body Connection. And I share with you a chant from the Gandhi Foundation. It opens the heart chakra. Remember, a chakra in the ancient Sanskrit means a wheel of spinning energy in a clockwise fashion. We have 7 major chakras within this body temple, from the root all the way to the crown, cosmic consciousness. Tonight, we're opening the heart, and we're doing it with the Tibetan symbols. And as I open tonight with this chant from the Gandhi Foundation, I invite you to repeat after me as I make the declaration into the law of mind. And if you don't feel comfortable with that, that's all right too. You can silently say it to yourself. Just place your hands on your heart. Feel the beating of your heart. I believe that we were given a heart so that we would live one moment at a time, beat, by precious beat, moment by precious moment. So let us begin. I offer you peace. I offer you friendship. I offer you love. I see your beauty. I hear your needs. I feel your feelings. My wisdom flows from a higher source. I salute that source in you. Come, let us work together. Come, let us work together. Come, let us work together. Right now, Somewhere in the world, a Jew is saying her prayers. A Hindu is chanting a mantra, and a Buddhist is kneeling at her sacred shrine. Right now, at this very moment, someone is lighting a candle in a cathedral. Someone is making their hajj toward Mecca, for it is the will of Allah. And yet someone else is lighting a fire in a jungle, repeating an ancient mystical drama, many, many pathways up the mountaintop, and the view is always the same from the summit. In the dawning of the spiritual sun, for a moment, all faiths became as one. The Christian, Buddhist, Muslim, Jew became as one, and somehow knew that mystic voice that calls to me, oh, yonder, yonder person, I am thee. We are one. This oneness moves beyond color, race, creed, sexual orientation, and political affiliation. We are one. And tonight, as we really feel this oneness, this divine connection, as we open our hearts, our minds, and our souls to each other, and we acknowledge that we are here on the planet to fulfill our destiny. And if you're tuning in at this moment, know that nothing happens by chance, that everything is by a divine appointment. And I bless you for keeping your divine appointment, that our message is a universal message of love and oneness that moves beyond all of the differences and respects the differences and accepts the differences rather than tolerate the differences. And when I tolerate you, I put up with you. However, when I lift the octave to a higher spiritual vibrational frequency, what am I doing? I'm lifting it above appearances, conditions, and effects of life into the realm of spirit. And remember, if you want to know the secrets of life, you think in terms of frequency, vibration, and energy. That lifts us out of personality. And we can be so wounded by personality. But when we lift it to principle, energetically, we fill our own hearts and souls with compassion for the human condition, right? And when we look out with compassion and understanding, there's no judgment. I love the old statement, I tear down the walls of opinion that separate my brothers and sisters from me. I set them free from the projection of myself so I may see them as they are. I will not measure them with a yardstick of yesterday, for perhaps in the night an angel of light revealed to them what they are. And today, right now, they may be that. So we cannot judge what is going on in the outer, because every day is a brand new day that moves beyond time and space into that realm of spiritual awareness, of consciousness, Christ consciousness, the Buddha nature, the holy I am presence that lives and moves and has its being at the center of our one life. So this theme for the month, the gentle art of blessing. And tonight we're looking at a global blessing campaign, and that we're blessing ourselves, each other, our community, the nation, our global family, that we're drawn together through our similarities. We grow through our differences. We grow through our differences. So I bow to that. I bow to the energy of that light that penetrates the darkness. It not only penetrates the darkness, it absorbs it. It not only absorbs it, what does it do? It illuminates it. It illuminates it. So when we look at this global art of blessing and the opportunity that we have, that whatever comes up in our energy field, that there is an opportunity there for us. And I've had a very interesting week, actually wonderful week. Friday, I drove into Newport Beach to be with the Global Society of Female Entrepreneurs and to receive the World Kindness Award. Saturday, every November 13th since 1998, the Global Kindness Movement put in place, highlighting random acts of kindness rather than senseless acts of violence. And that where energy goes, what? Where energy goes and flows, that becomes our reality. In fact, Dr. Ernest Holmes, the founder of the Science of Mind movement, said, where thought goes, energy flows. So in 1998, when the World Kindness Movement began to focus on what's right with the world. Let's focus on that. Let's put our energy on what's right with the world. We're not in denial as ostriches with our head in the sand. We're not denying that there are things that need to be healed and that there's a lot of work to do on the planet. Let's acknowledge those that are doing that work. Let's acknowledge those that are putting the works with the faith, the action with intention, and doing the work, the grassroots movements that are making a difference. So, I'm a child of the 60s. We were the game changers. We, had our placards, make love, not war. And we put that energy out there. And I feel that that was like the ground of being for a major evolution in consciousness, that the old paradigms were no longer working. Remember what Einstein said, we're not going to solve the world problems with the same energy that created them. It is about a new day, a new consciousness, and an opportunity to bless everything that comes into our energy field. So I drove to Newport Beach, spent the night. I met with all of these beautiful, amazing, heart-centered, compassionate women. Over 100 women were there. And to receive the World Kindness Award, along with these other dynamic, beautiful women, was such a gift. And to hear the work that they are doing and putting in place. One woman stood up and she said, I'm an African American woman. I was part, of a gang. She just went right into what she went through, and that she had an awakening because someone believed in her. And she started this movement with children that are coming from poverty areas that can be easily drawn into that gang mentality. And they have created this amazing movement for these kids, transforming lives. I heard about another woman that she began the whole movement of sending packages every single month to those that are in active military work. And it went on and on. It was absolutely so beautiful. My heart was so touched by the work that's being done on the planet. Yes, World Day of Kindness, every November 13th. And when I look at my 46 years in the ministry and the opportunities that I've had that have come my way, that I truly am the greatest benefactor of it. And so tonight, as we look at our creating a global campaign of blessing our planet, of blessing all those, and I mean it, there's a lot going on. We look at the Syrians and we look at all the things, the wars, the rumors of wars, all of this. And we begin to bless energetically that spark of kindness within everyone. Remember when Mother Teresa, she stopped a war for one day, in Bosnia. She just put up a white flag and said, we're going into the orphanage. And she and her little sisters of charity marched through a war zone to care for the children that weren't being cared for. She ceased fire. Gandhi, what? He immobilized an entire nation without firing a single shot. So in our daily life, which is our temple and our religion, as we go within to that secret place of the Most High, and we pray to our Father, Mother, God in secret, we are acknowledged openly by the outward demonstrations of our lives. The outward demonstrations of our lives, yes. And so tonight, we open to this global campaign of blessing, and it begins personally with each and every one of us. Every time we complain, we look outside ourselves, we bitch, we moan about what's going on in life, we keep it in place. And Pierre Pradervand, who wrote The Gentle Art of Blessing, said that he was part of a nonprofit. He worked for them. He put in $25,000 of his own money. It was part of the Hunger Project. And opening doors for those in third world countries. And he said there was a gentleman there that just absolutely hated him and started conspiring to get rid of him. And he, went to various board members. Now, remember, I'm in public life. I know what that feels like. We're not going to be all things to all people, are we? So this certain man went to various other people and they gave him an ultimatum of you can do this or you can do that. And he said what they proposed was against his own moral fiber of his being. He couldn't accept that. And so they knew that he would quit, and he did quit. And he was heartbroken. And he began to really go within, and he just felt this gnawing resentment every single day of his life. He said, I would pray, I would meditate, I would do mantras, I would read, I would do all of these things. But he said nothing worked. The resentment was just like this gnawing inside of me that how could this have happened? I gave so much. They knew I made a difference. How could this have happened? And remember, whenever we say, why did this happen? We are what? We're actually doing a disservice to ourselves when we say, okay, what is the gift in this? And I'm not, we're all part of the human condition. We can stomp our feet and shake our fist for a while. We can vent, but then we get down to that ground of being. What is this really about for me? What is the gift in this for me? And he said he went through all this resentment. And then one day he read the Sermon on the Mount. And Jesus said, bless those that curse you and say all manner of evil against you for his name's sake. Bless those that curse you. He said, suddenly a light went on. Bless those that curse you. Bless those that gossip about you. Bless those that judge you. Bless those that backbite. Bless those that are talking behind your back. Because happy people do not look outside themselves for the answers. He said everything changed. He began blessing that board. He began blessing that man that, hated him and conspired against him and got him fired from a job that he absolutely loved and served with all of his being, and donated $25,000 to assist it to forward and advance the energy to end world hunger in third world countries. He said, I began getting, public transportation. I blessed the bus driver. I blessed the passengers. I blessed the passerbys. I blessed the cashier. I blessed everywhere I went. I began blessing. Now, this Gentle Art of Blessing by Pierre Pradervand has so much substance. And as he shares from his own life, how within himself, he had a healing. He had a healing. Now, I'm with you tonight, and I want you to know I am very happy to be with you tonight. I just came out of the hospital, and I went in on Monday for an angiogram, and I did have a reaction to the anesthetic, and my heart was pounding and what have you. And I have within my immediate circle of prayer partners those that will absolutely know the truth for me. And why I never post these kinds of things on Facebook is because I don't want a sympathetic vibration. I want people in my energy field that will know the truth for me, see my perfection, and absolutely know that whatever is going on is returned to its native nothingness from whence it came. And the truth is, we've all had heartache. We've all felt the angst of life, haven't we? So when I went through this experience, I originally went through it 2 years ago. And I was taken to the emergency ward, and they did every test in the world and said, your heart is absolutely fine. Of course, I received that with gratitude. And they misdiagnosed it and said that it was acid reflux response, which has the same symptomology as if you're having a heart issue. So I'm somewhat in denial myself. And so I accepted this, but the occurrences of the episodes kept reoccurring. They went from quarterly, then they went to, bi-monthly, and then to monthly, and then every couple of weeks. And when it came down to once a week, and then I felt incapacitated for 2 days afterward, I knew in my heart that I needed to get this addressed. So again, my dear friend, Michael, in our spiritual community said, I'm taking you to the emergency. And they did this whole battery of tests again. Well, if I'm not in an episode, nothing shows up. Everything shows up as normal. So I requested, and I did not have a resonance with my cardiologist who was assigned to me. And it was like an arranged marriage that wasn't working. and that anything I would say, he would counter. So when I was this last 3 weeks ago, I was in emergency. He came into my room and said, everything looks fine. It looks great. And so I just summoned my warrior energy and said, something is going on. You are the cardiologist. We need to test. We need a heart monitor, all the things that I was told by, I have a very good friend that was the administrative nurse at Desert Regional Hospital. She said, you need a heart monitor, you need this, that, and the other. So I put that out to him. And I mentioned angiogram. And he said, angiograms are very, very dangerous. You can have a stroke. I'd feel terrible if you died. And I said, and you feel terrible if I had a heart attack and died. And again, I said, these are the things I want to get. And he said, it's 7:00 at night and I'm talking to you. I was stunned. And I said, isn't that what you signed up for when you took your Hippocratic oath? I was like, I took vows to do what I'm doing. I've gone out at 1, 2, 3 in the morning to emergency wards if one member of our community was going through something. I'm at the hospital beds. I'm at the memorial services. I'm at whatever I'm called upon to do for the last 46 years. So I was like stunned. And, and I just felt we do not have a resonance. So when my general practitioner came in the next morning, I said, I don't have a resonance with this cardiologist. It's an arranged marriage that is not working. And I was assigned to him. And, I was adamant. And he was just so precious. He goes, well, he said, before you get rid of him, you get your heart monitor, you get this, you get that. You don't want to quit midstream, you start all over again. So it was wonderful to have a safe and loving, compassionate space to vent to about what I was experiencing, because I felt minimized, I felt placated and appeased, and it was not all right with me. So my daughter drove out from Arizona, 5 hours, and I requested to the nurse this monitor. They gave me a 24-hour monitor. And I said, what is this going to do? I don't know when these episodes are going to occur. And what happened was that the pain would just flare up in my chest, down my arm, and settle in my jaws. I looked it up, and of course, online it says, these are the symptoms of angina. So I just summoned the universe. I summoned my warrior energy. I said to the nurse, you're giving me a 24-hour monitor when I don't know when these episodes occur. I feel placated, I feel appeased, I feel minimized and condescended to. And she said, Dr. Sharon, I understand completely. And I will couch it in words that the doctor can understand. You are a very intelligent and bright woman, but he does not respond to emotion. Interesting. A heart doctor that does not respond to emotion. Okay. So I took the 24-hour monitor. Nothing occurred. I received a call the next morning that the doctor has consented for a 30-day heart monitor. And I went back. I was fitted for the heart monitor. The next morning at 4 a.m., the episode occurred. The pain in my chest flared up, down my arm, and settled in my jaws. And it incapacitated me for 2 days afterward. So this is why I summoned, the energies of the universe to get it done, to advocate for myself, to know that this is not an acid reflux response, excuse me. And I received a call at 8 a.m. from the cardiologist. Very sheepish, low-key, that we have diagnosed you with. And I'm not going to state it because I don't want the label. If you name it and label it, it kind of sticks, because I feel deeply that we are knowing the truth for each other in our own perfection, and that whatever we go through deepens the quality of our lives. And as it deepens the quality of our lives, then we can go out as the ancient bodhisattva with healing, helping hands. So I have an experience of a heart condition, and I am dealing with it. I have some medications that are very good, and herbs. And I want you to know that my doctor of Oriental medicine was the one that said, you call the cardiologist, you get yourself in there. He felt that it was ischemic. So here's my naturopath. He's guiding me to the cardiologist, right? And I put all of this. And so, the cardiologist said, oh, your naturopath is directing you here. And what I realized is that I needed to bless the whole situation. I was assigned to him as well as he was assigned to me. This is a co-creation. I'm not at the effect or the victim of this mentality. I am a co-creator, because just as he's, there for me, I'm there for him. And his whole energy shifted. He became very compassionate. He began calling me. And then when I went in for the angiogram on Monday and I had a reaction to the anesthesia, I spent the night. And then he wanted me to stay 2 additional days. And I said, I don't feel that's necessary. And what was so interesting is I got up yesterday morning and I was given this beautiful room that had a plate glass window. And I mean, when the sun came out, the sun was rising, this fuchsia throughout my whole room. I got up, I put a chair in front of the window, and I just placed my hands out and I said, thank you, Father, Mother, God, that which needs to be healed is healed, that which needs to be revealed is revealed, that which needs to be known is known. I bless every doctor, every nurse, every attendant here to support me in this healing process. And as I opened the space to allow God to do what God does best, which is what? What does God do best by means of us? Extend love. Extend love. So then I got back in bed. It was, after the sun rising, and I'm doing my treatments. And in the hospital, they wake you every 2, 3, 4 hours to take blood, to do the vitals. Hi, Jessica, and I'm going to take your vitals. And I just said, bless you, dear, for caring. Bless you for caring. And then I go back to, kind of a deep meditation. And I opened my eyes at 8 a.m. and there was my doctor sitting in the chair that I was sitting in, the cardiologist. And he said, oh, you were sleeping so peacefully. I didn't want to disturb you. And I said, no, I was really meditating. I got up to experience the sunrise this morning. It was so magnificent, and I felt so blessed. And so then he went into all the results of the angiogram and the course of action that he was really putting forth. And it was a completely different energy because I began blessing. I began to know that this is a co-creative relationship. And when we're at the effect of things, we go into victimhood and martyrdom. And just as Pierre Pradervand was eaten up with all that resentment from the people that fired him, from a vocation that he loved, that he went in to write these amazing books. He goes all over the world speaking. His whole life opened up. He said one day he saw the person that persecuted him and got him fired from the job that he loved. And he said, I felt total joy. I invited him to sit with me at dinner. It was the most beautiful conversation. Bless those that curse you and say all manner of evil against you for his name's sake. And so when I was leaving, I carry around little 14-karat gold angels. They're little lapel pin angels. So I gave to the nurses and I said, you're my angels. You are in the most noble profession. And as the president of the International Foundation for World Peace and the minister of Interfaith Spiritual Center Worldwide, I would like to give you a peace angel, an interfaith angel placed above your heart where your dreams reside. And the one nurse just had tears in her eyes and said, oh, this is so wonderful. No one's ever really acknowledged us. They do yell at us at times. I said, you are in the most noble profession. Then the little caterer came in to bring breakfast. Everything was wrong. I'm a vegetarian. There was like a sausage sandwich and not one thing was right on the plate. And I said, oh, I think I got someone else's. And so she said, oh, I'm just so sorry. And so she she, went out, and a few minutes later she came in with my order and apologized, and apologized again. And I said, you do such a beautiful job of serving all of these patients, and there aren't even enough beds, and yet you get it right most of the time. And I would like to present you with this little 14-karat gold angel placed above your heart where your dreams reside, because you are an angel to so many of us. I placed that above her heart, and she cried and she wept and she just said, no one's ever done this. And I said, well, open the space and allow it now. Know that you are here to serve, and that you are serving at such a beautiful level. So I felt, and blessing every single event and the opportunity that's there for each and every one of us, even if we don't feel at our best, that we don't feel 100%. When we bless it, we lift the energy, don't we? We lift the energy field. So when the doctor wanted me to stay 2 additional days, I just could not envision myself doing Wednesday Night Live from my hospital bed. I said, no, I'm fine to go home and to be in my sanctuary, in my energy, and my altars and my candles. I'm absolutely fine to do that. And I have a network of prayer partners that are knowing the truth with me and for me, that we breathe in peace, we exhale love, we breathe in peace, and we know the heart is the energy of love. So as we bless those that curse us, and we send out that energy, and we acknowledge that we can make the shift to a higher vibratory frequency. And when we make that shift, the world outside of us shifts as well. So tonight, we know the truth for each other. We know that the perfection within us has always been there, that there is a spiritual DNA, and that we call upon that. And I am very grateful for medical science when I need it. I'm very grateful for my chiropractor, Dr. Jim Cox in Palm Springs. I'm very grateful for my naturopath, Dr. Jim Perdue, who was the one that said, you get yourself to the cardiologist again, because I said, well, they had diagnosed it as da 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 da. He goes, no, this is not that. So we have people in our energy field to support us in the healing process, and that we do not have a sympathetic vibration and see the person, whatever that label is. We lift them up in consciousness and allow ourselves to know the truth, knowing that it's the truth that sets us free. And that through these mediums, we can be here, and our vehicle, we take our cars into the garage, don't we? We change the oil. I had to change the brakes and a few other things the last time, get new brakes and all of that. We're here to do a wonderful work. And of course, fear knocked at the door. Faith answered, behold, no one was there. And I had to overcome the fact that at 77 years young, that my mother made her transition at 77. And I have a lot of living to do. And I shared with the doctor, my mother was an alcoholic. She was a chain smoker. She did all of these things. I'm a vegetarian. I am a non-smoker. I'm a non-drinker. It's so fascinating. I've been very, very solicitous about this temple, because I know that our body is the temple of the living God. And I just want to acknowledge Marlene, honey, you're here. And Lynn, Sue, this is lovely. And my Debbie Garcia, who sponsors me here on a StreamYard and does this as a gift. Debbie, I love you, and I'm so grateful for you as well. And Conchetta, she says, hello, everyone. And I'm seeing, these various comments, and I don't usually see the ones on the Sharon Stroud page or the Dr. Sharon Stroud page or the Rose of Sharon Sanctuary page. But we do go back into Spirituality Gone Wild page, and I do answer every single one of your prayer requests. And I'd love to acknowledge where you're from. And this is just what Miss Minnie and I do. So that I'm going to complete our wonderful night together with a spiritual treatment. So let's just acknowledge that there is one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. And that life is our life right here and right now. And through this global campaign of blessing ourselves, each other, our community, the nation, and ultimately our global family, that we are shifting the energy in favor of spirituality and what? Love. We are shifting the scales. And we, through this art of blessing, lifting the energy to a higher octave. And align with me tonight. That which needs to be healed is healed. That which needs to be revealed is revealed. That which needs to be known is known. And that which needs to be released is released quickly, gently, and with grace. For eye hath not seen nor ear heard, neither hath entered into the heart of humanity the things which God hath prepared for them that love. Love being the strongest healing power in the universe. All cause, effect, record, and memory of that which no longer serves us returns to its native nothingness from whence it came, because the truth is, it is neither person, place, nor thing. It is only the life and the energy that we have given unto it. Tonight we say thank you, Father, Mother, God, for this way of life. And as we release this word, knowing it returns in full-blown expression of that which we have sent forth on this glorious November evening. And so it is. I want to thank each and every one of you who have been supporting our ministry, our universal message of love and oneness. And your offerings, your financial gifts have made a difference. Our doors are open because of you. I want to thank our very special interfaith angel. You know I love you, and I'm so very grateful. I want to open the space tonight for each and every one of us to feel that divine blessing upon us, pressed down, shaken together, and flowing over into every area of our life. For we know the same opening that we give through is the same opening we receive through. Thank you, Father, Mother, God, for the abundance that is ours. I say namaste. The divinity within me salutes the divinity within you. And the divinity within you salutes the divinity within me. And if I'm in that place in me and you are in that place in you, there is only one of us. Namaste. I say shalom, the peace that passes all understanding. And God bless us, every one, every single one. And little Miss Minnie and I, we will see you next week. I want you to know I love you. I appreciate you. So grateful for you. And we'll be back, won't we? Together. And I feel you tonight. I really feel your beautiful energy. And so, Miss Minnie, can you say goodbye? Say good night. Can you say good night? Yes. Yes. All right. Until next week, namaste.